lenses because you're wearing shades in the club. Let's talk about that for a second.
What's the problem?
No problem for you necessarily. What I will say is this. You talked about being the woman at the end of the night, right? The guys are like, hey man, you looking fine. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I've been looking at you like for the past 4 hours and like, what's up? There's just a lot of absolute nonsense. These Jewish people to go sit in these camps. I'm going to kill you and your family. Welcome to the Any Last Words pod. My name is Earl Lonnie Hooks. A very, very special thanks to everybody that will be joining us today on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, as well as YouTube. And please do not forget to follow us at ALW Pod on Instagram. The God in me honors the God in each and every one of you. Today we have, let me try this again. Do you get it? Did people get it wrong all the time?
All the time.
See, now I'm overthinking it. Ayéle.
Yes.
Hey, Ayéle. Okay,
Ayéle.
cool. I knew that there was going to be a point in time where that needed to happen because we met through text message and that name came through. And shout out to Rachel Sneed, by the way.
Rachel.
Yeah, shout out to you. We all love you. Everyone that ever meets you, I'm certain loves you. And so she sent your name through, and I was like, damn, how do you say that? But I knew we were going to get to this point, and I'm super grateful that you came here.
I'm excited.
On various... You know what's really already fascinating about you?
What's that?
Is that I believe you. If you say that you're excited, I believe you.
That's dangerous.
I know, but I don't think you're a liar. I know that that's weird because I just met you. But I don't think that you would care to. I don't think that you give off like this is who I am. Like you give off you have to take me this way. And I don't got you looking in my eyes and saying, I'm excited to be here. If you're just not, like, I don't think that you would feel the need to go to that length.
I think we all are secretly living in a delusion.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I don't know how I come off. I don't really know myself that well. But I'm here. And I was going to cancel too.
You were going to cancel? Okay. So let's start there. Why?
Because I feel like I don't have self-control when it comes to my words. And
okay.
I may say a few things that might bite me in the butt in like a few years.
You think so?
Well, again, like I said, I don't know myself. So especially at 22, I can't imagine being 30 and then looking back at the wisdom I thought I had at 22 and having people perceive me or making judgment towards me based on something that I said like years ago. So that's been my fear. And that's why I've deleted, well, there's other reasons why I deleted social media, but there's no way of perceiving me unless you are with me.
Deleted all social media. What did you have before?
I had Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, I had TikTok, and I posted a video, and it was a stupid video, and it didn't go viral, but it did pretty good, and so I deleted that, but then I made a random account because I love African dances, and I would love to watch them on TikTok.
Oh, okay, so you just want to watch, you don't want to post anything?
No, as far as posting, I haven't posted anything in like a while.
Do you do African dances?
I only know how to, sway left and right,
Okay.
I only know a little some,
How to sway left and right?
Just sway left and right. Just pretend, that I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I know how to fake it.
Okay.
But when we go technical,
yeah,
that's when you start to realize, like, maybe she's not.
But you have rhythm.
I can follow the beat.
You can follow the beat. When you hear music, does it make you want to move?
It depends on the I need to hear the beat.
Like the percussion. You need some drums, some bass.
Do you listen to lyrics or the beat? Because I don't listen to lyrics.
Really?
No, I don't. And it'll be so crazy because recently, last year, we were listening, me and my friend, we were listening to Umbrella by Rihanna. And Umbrella, I love that song mainly because of the beat. But dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. And she was like, when Rihanna was singing, what was the let the rain down. Or she was like, come
to me. Yeah.
And I was just singing, and she was like, do you know what that means? And I'm like, what, 21? I was like, no. She's like, and she was like, say it slower. And I'm like, wow, this whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
I was singing that. It's nasty.
Yeah, first of all, it's Rihanna.
What does that mean when you say it's Rihanna? What stronghold does Rihanna have on you?
No, Rihanna has a stronghold on nastiness.
Is that so? Are you attracted to Rihanna?
Yes.
What makes her attractive?
It seems as though, because I don't know this person. But
you don't know her, so it's your judgment.
Right, exactly.
Be physically.
Okay, yes, there are physical aspects to it, and body language is a lot of it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just see people and they walk through a room differently than the other people in the room. And there's a certain sense of confidence that happens when they do that.
Why does that attract you? Isn't that dangerous, though? Someone that's able to influence people without saying much?
Yeah, for sure.
But you're attracted to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we're constantly influenced, and if you try to tell yourself that you are not an impressionable person, it's probably because you haven't had people point out to you the ways in which the world has impressed upon you and your being. But sometimes it is dangerous. That's why so many people are in dangerous situations when it comes to trying to proposition someone or they're going after someone they have no business going after. There are people that will tell you, I'm not good. You should run away from me. And people can't break that tie because of whatever it is this person has. What we could just kind of use the summation of everything you could think of and call it charisma, right? Just like someone's energy, their vibe, their essence, whatever that is to you, which is usually just a amalgam of all these things that we're reading from them, their body language, their tone, what words are they using, all this, what do they talk about? How do they talk about it? Like you just said, as Bella did on the last episode, that I seem to hold a lot of weight in my words. And then this question popped into your mind. I wonder if because he's thinking so much about his words, is he being betrayed by his body language? Does he just allow that? And as I told you, I hope, I have nothing to, if someone says, Earl, you moved like this and it kind of showed me that, you're exhibiting these qualities. I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Tell me more about it. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh no, you see me? I do a podcast. There's only but so much hiding you can do when you talk to people for an hour and a half to 3 hours long for now 135 episodes, right? Like people are going to catch on. Like they're going to tell when you're kind of bullshitting or whatever that stuff is. You can't really hide for too long.
Okay. I have a couple questions for you.
Do it.
The first question is, actually I have 3 questions. So with everybody that I meet, I like to ask them, give me 2 negative qualities about yourself and 1 positive. That's their first question. Okay.
Negative. I have worked diligently on patience, and I am not where I want to be.
When did you realize that you not having patience was a problem?
Probably around the era in which everyone started fighting on Twitter, 2020, era when there was just online battles. And not to say that stopped, but it was definitely it was like a scary height. There was a lot of stuff going on. And wanting to speak with people about things, but feeling as though levels of understanding about things were lacking, and people not being able to tap into the very simple option of, hey, I don't know this thing. I don't know any information here. And so when I would be presented with other people's lack of patience or understanding, but also at the same time, their perceived sense of understanding about said thing, right? So now at this point, we're calling them a charlatan. Like, I don't know much, but I'm going to act like I do. I'm going to talk to you like I do. And I'm also at the same time going to speak in sweeping motion about a whole demographic of people, right? Which I talk about all the time. Where it could be, black people are stupid and they can't think about things objectively, and they're all in their hearts and in their emotions. They don't know how to step outside of that and pick things apart. It's, all white people are racist and they want to hold everyone else down, or it's, you vote liberal, well, then you're probably just a super crazy fascist type, or so when people would have this very unsophisticated type of conversation, I found myself at that time losing patience.
But do you think that people are fully honest online? Because
I'm sorry, I wasn't online.
Okay, you said was it Twitter?
Yeah. Like at this time, while this was happening,
okay,
I was removed because I've always been removed from like social media in that way. I've never clicking on there trying to hash out ideas. Like I think that's a terrible way to go about doing it. I think it's dishonest. One, I think it's unhealthy. I don't think anything comes from that. I don't think people go to those platforms to really try to understand a view, right, and come to some sort of common ground. I don't think that's the case at all. But I also think that we have an issue in America, and this is something Bella and I talked about, with having conversation. I just went out for some drinks and burgers and stuff like that with like a couple of guys from Croatia and one from Montenegro, which is another Balkan province.
These are your friends?
They are now. Yeah.
So you went to a bar by yourself and you met these people?
Oh, no. Yeah, we planned to go out. Okay. So like I know them loosely, but we had an awesome time. Probably spent like 5 hours together just chatting, having a good time. And one of the most remarkable things that I came out of that experience with was the fact that I don't remember the last time I sat down with a group of people, and no matter what was being talked about in the different viewpoints that were presented, there was, not even an ounce of like angst, or resentment. It was literally just someone speaking, over there, weed isn't legal, but a ton of people smoke it. I smoke it. This is why I do it. This is what I don't like about it. I feel like it makes me lazy, but it also makes me happy. So these people are sharing these ideas. And then there's another one right across, and he's like, yeah, man, I hate drugs, man. Like I'm really against them. I don't like them at all. And at no point did anyone feel like it was time for them to sort of galvanize the troops and stand up for what they believed in. Like they just listened to what the other person had to say and just understood that. And that was really it. Like they just spoke about the nuances of what they felt, but no one ever felt the need to change anyone else's mind about anything or bring them over to their side. Like we all just had a good time. So there was never a war of ideas. It was just hanging out amongst people that felt like the other people at the table were good, solid people to hang around. Like it was so interesting because I've been very fascinated by people's proclivity to be sucked in by ideologies and feel attacked when an idea is critiqued. I find that to be very, very fascinating.
Why?
How much people absorb ideas into their being. I could be the devil's advocate. And we are only, in this world, we only are given one mind. And what we believe is what our reality is.
So when you meet someone with a different perspective on life, the same life that you guys are given, it just kind of, I think people get angry because they are faced with the statement of like, maybe what I believe in isn't the full truth. Maybe I'm not right. And I think that's hard to digest when you believe something for so long, or you have these strong emotions and everyone around you is not seeing that. So I'm not excusing like bad behavior. I don't think anybody should fight because they believe in like different things. But I do think like throughout our lives, we are challenged with our beliefs. And I guess the part of adulthood, or to be an adult, is to realize that you don't know everything, and that's okay.
I agree. You had 2 more questions. I don't want to bombard you with too much before you get to those, because I really want you to get those out if you want to get them out.
My other question is, what influences your personality?
What influences my personality? I would say the people that I choose to surround myself with. Probably everything that I choose to allow to have proper, frequent, heavy space in my life. So the music, to some degree, the art, the books that I read.
Well, describe your personality.
Describe it?
Yeah.
I would say open. I would say playful. I would say thoughtful. Extroverted, certainly with introverted tendencies.
What about the negative stuff, negative aspect of your personality?
Well,
Do you think all personalities are good? What about the negative stuff you like to list? Which is good. It's good that you can list the good stuff, but we all have flaws.
No, I think that those are also bad. I think that they're also bad. I think that because, my mind is open, but there have been times, it's funny, the listeners will know, can't go anywhere without mentioning J. Cole or Kendrick. Kendrick had a line, he said, sometimes I'm afraid of my open mind.
Well,
I think that there's a certain openness that you can get to where it feels like maybe I should retreat a bit.
Well, I think it's more of the motive of your openness. Like there was a time where I desperately wanted friends, so I open up to everyone in hopes that they find something in me to continue or to build a friendship with me.
Okay.
And then there was some openness where it's like, I'm just giving you some wisdom I've learned through my life. And I don't really care like what they think of me or what the response is. So what is your reason? And that was my third question. Why are you so deep?
Oh shit, that's a wild question. Why am I so? I don't know if that's wild to call myself deep. But I guess the summation of the things that I say end up meaning that. Well, because deep is deep. So it's like, how deep do you want to go? Like, the oceans can be a beautiful place. You go deep enough into that motherfucker, it may not be so beautiful anymore. Like, there may be some things. So if you open your mind far past what we have deemed correct socially, I think that a lot of beauty can be found there. I think that in the darkest places, that's where treasure lies. All right, that's what stories tell us all the time, going down into like the belly of the beast, going down into the crypts, right? And then the hero finds a treasure chest of gold or something that bring back to the village to help everybody out. So there's something profoundly deep about going into the depths, because there is beauty there, but there's also a lot of what you don't want to see there. Because once you open your mind past, again, our man-made morals, and you start asking yourself questions such as, well, why do we believe this? Why is that? And a lot of people can't or won't take their mind there. But if for any reason it's psychedelic drugs, or you just are in a meditative state, or you're just a deep thinker, whatever the case is, and you decide you're going to keep digging, and find out just exactly who you are on every level you can possibly excavate towards. It gets deep because you realize that you have a proclivity for everything that every evil person has ever had on the planet. Like you could be that, right? Every Nazi soldier wasn't just like a raging psychopath, but they were put in certain situations where it's like, well, what would you do? What would you do if I told you, if you don't pick up this gun and go over there and tell these Jewish people to go sit in these camps, I'm going to kill you and your family? It gets a little weird. So you start to open your mind to just how deep you can be. And that really at the end of it, you have to train yourself and you have to condition yourself to move on the other side of the spectrum, like further away from that. Because if you're lost, you have no guidance, you don't know what it is you're doing here, you haven't been given anything to ground you or anchor you to something deep and what's true to you, you could very easily just go be the villain. Like why, what would be stopping you necessarily, right? So that's the one answer of the open mind. Like I do a pretty good job with managing it. But I definitely could have seen times in my life where I could have gotten off the carousel, for sure. I could have gotten off, because to some degree I am, right? I could have easily been a villain. Because I was a villain for a long time.
What is a villain?
I was not a pleasant person to be around. I didn't treat people the way that I should have.
And you're being really vague and like.
I mean, well, okay, yeah, you're right, because you're new here. Let's see where to start. I guess the worst thing would just be the way I treated women. That's probably somewhere around the worst, right? Like serial cheater. Just didn't say nice things, didn't take people seriously. Didn't care about people's words at all, or like where they were coming from. Like I just had a motive. Like I want to have sex with you. So I'm going to find that way out. Like I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to put my mind towards this thing. And I put my mind towards it, right? So like that was my goal. And so
your goal was to have sex with as many women, or just... Yeah,
for sure.
Does that make you feel more like a man? Why?
At the time?
Yeah.
At the time, not more of a, kind of, there's a bit of it. More of a man, more so because other men look up to that guy, right? For some reason, we see people that have like, they have a level of attraction for whatever the reason may be, or myriad of reasons it may be. And you look and you're like, it's like a pride of lions. You're just like, why him? I wonder let me look at what he's got. Is he funny? Did they just find him physically attractive? Like, is there something I can learn here? At least that's the way I look at the world. Like, what can I learn from this situation? Like, what observations can I make? And so, yeah, there was something in that, because there's clearly this uprising of support, right? From men, right? It's just like, oh damn, this motherfucker Earl out here, he getting it, you know what I mean? So we all stupid together. So that, that ain't no good. So it's the blind leading the blind at that point. And then just as far as I went, I was trying to fill a whole other void. It wasn't about being a man. It was just about feeling felt and seen and understood. Like that's the only way I was emotionally bankrupt. Yeah, I was definitely emotionally bankrupt. I had a big heart, but I didn't know I'd harness it. I didn't know what to do with it. I tried to get away from it. Like I thought that loving and caring, tenderly, attentively was like some bullshit. Like, like that looks corny as fuck. Like that's not tight. What I'm doing is tight. You know what I mean?
Do you think having sex with a lot of people, was that harmful for you? Or do you think it's harmful at all?
Nah, I'm fine with it. The only thing, and this is when my life changed, because, I was an asshole, and then around age 22, I changed. So after that, I just stopped lying. And that was really the part that I needed to get out. People that have sex, I don't, that's fine with me. I didn't like the lying part. Like there was no point of me having to lie to these people. I could just tell them what it is I wanted, which is really all they ever asked. Like, what do you want? Like, just tell me the truth. Maybe we can have that. Maybe we can't, whatever the case is. Maybe I'm just not for you. Maybe the next person is for you. So yeah, there was just no point in me lying. It was so stupid. Like when you look back, like you said, looking back at 30, thinking about the wisdom that you had at 20. I was a fucking idiot. I was so stupid. And I hope to say that about myself now when I'm 40. Like, man, 31-year-old Earl was fucking stupid. I hope so. I think that's the case already, though. I think I can see it. I think I'm an idiot. But, yeah, I think that's definitely the case. That's definitely the case. But, I like to enjoy myself and I treat people much nicer these days. And so when you're asking me this question off the pod before we recorded of, do I know myself? Do I know how people perceive me? Yes. I think that I do. A lot of it doing this podcast has helped a whole lot because just quick, which you already know all this information. I had an ex-girlfriend. This was definitely during my asshole years, but there was something deep in me that she saw, right? Some sort of light that she saw. And so, there was no scorn there. And years later, she began listening to the podcast and she enjoyed it. She came on the podcast. Everything was cool. And then she brought her friend, Rachel, right? And then Rachel came on and she was very cool and she enjoyed it. And then now you are here. And this is just one iteration of this. But there have been various people that come and then they bring their friend. And so one metric I can use for how people perceive me and who I am is the level of solidity that has come to this podcast and come to me just in general on and off the podcast through just a networking of awesome, pleasant, beautiful human beings. So that's one metric is life is showing me that I'm on the right path. Yeah. Life is showing me that because I have nothing but beautiful people that call me and text me and come on the podcast and, they love to be around me and I love to be around them. And so, and I feel great, healthy, my mind's in a great place. I feel the best I've ever felt my entire life right now, this moment. You're seeing the best version of Earl that's ever lived right now. So
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, that's one way of measuring, of gauging exactly who I am and how people perceive me. Yeah, because I don't spend too much time thinking about it, like how people perceive me. I just go through life, and then every once in a while, someone will say something that like makes me bashful. They'll say something like, like, do you ever think about like who listens to your podcast and what sort of change you may have made in someone's life or some sort of impact? And I'm like, no, I don't think about that. I just have a conversation with someone and then I stop the recording and I send it to my friend Mikey and he does it and it comes out and I'll listen to it back and I'll be like, man, this is really cool. But no, I don't think about me impacting people. Absolutely not. So yeah, that's definitely not something I think about. But I think that also goes hand in hand with like who I am and how I'm perceived is the fact that I'm not thinking about it that I think is another attractive quality. Because if I was, you'd be able to see it. And I think that that's weird. I don't need any more confidence. I don't. I need to regulate and manage the input that I get from other people, the positive input. I don't need much. I'm very thankful anytime anyone says something nice to me, but hey, let's talk about something nice about you. Like, let's go to you. Let's talk about how beautiful you are. Let's talk about how open, you are for even coming here, even though you were about to cancel on me. Right? Let's talk about that type of thing.
Yeah, I was scared of what I may say. I had such a weird week. Like, this week didn't feel like a week, or it didn't feel like I existed for this week. Like, I was really in this cloudy, foggy place where, like, I set my alarm for 6, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's 6 already. It just didn't feel real.
Do you intoxicate yourself regularly?
Intoxicate?
With toxicants, whether it be alcohol, drugs, do you, okay, all right, you know what? Scratch that question. It's fine. No need to get back on that. I'm thinking about this fogginess, and I'm wondering, is it foggy for fog-inducing type of reasons, or is it foggy because we just haven't quite cleared the cobwebs?
I think I do a good job at pretending. If I don't open my bank account, if I don't open the app, I would literally forget my bills. Like, I don't know why. It's like, if it's not in my mind, then I'm not gonna focus on it. So I've been, at this time of my life, I got to make a lot of like huge decisions that can change everything, and I don't want to think about it right now. I want to be 22. I want to party. I want to be with my friends.
I guess that answered the previous question. Anyway.
That's another thing. Like, I started drinking at 20.
Okay.
So I'm 2 years into it, and I didn't, I don't drink by myself. It's not something that I would like pick up to drink, but in a group setting, I hate being the only sober one. Like, I hate, because I can't, it's hard for me to watch people like not give a fuck about anything.
So you have to get on the level of not giving a fuck about anything.
I need to like get on that level so I can dance around and have fun. But if I'm sober, like, I'm thinking about life. watching drunk people dance and like hook up with each other. I'm looking at life and I'm like, is this what you want? Is this how you would like to live in your 30s? Is this something that that defines you? Like, what? Like, why do you do this for fun?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me. And I think,
have you come up with any answers?
Other than I genuinely love people, and I want to be around people, and the bar or the club I find it a place where you can go up to someone and it's not stranger danger. Okay. Because we're stuck here. We're not stuck, but we're in the same location, we're dancing, and we're drunk. Yeah. So it's like, hi.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I don't know. I went to the club for the first time this past April. So I haven't done the whole club thing for a while. And every time I've left, it's like, I don't know. I feel more lonely when I leave the club.
Or when you're there and then you leave, then you feel lonely.
Yeah, like cause it's like, I don't know. What did I gain? What did I gain? And some people, they make really great friends, but I've yet to met like good quality friendships coming from people you've met at the club or a bar. Granted, I only spent 22 years on Earth, so I haven't talked to everyone yet, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm doing it, if I'm going, because I love music and dancing, because that's the reasoning I give myself.
You mean swaying from left to right?
Just my left and right movement. But I don't know yet, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know myself. I'm just trying to see what everybody else is doing and see if I like it too.
Right.
And then again, it's Friday night, and I'm 22. Where else?
I mean, it's a fucking journey, man. Like, just hearing you say that, like, even just having the wherewithal to say, I don't know myself.
Yeah.
And
it's scary.
I could imagine that would be the case. It would have been quite some time since I would have said those words myself. So, but yeah, I would imagine. I mean, just it being an external factor, an external body, someone that you don't know, like that could be a little sketchy. You don't quite know, even though, again, let's acknowledge that you're here in my house, right? But that can be very weird, and to just know that you're going to be with this person, you, all the time, and you don't know that person. That could be like, I don't know what this person may do. I don't know what they may say, which is a little bit of the reason why you almost canceled, because you didn't know what you would be liable to come out of your mouth with. So, yeah, I mean, I could imagine.
I don't think it's weird. I think there's beauty in that, that I'm able to learn, or not even learn, be able to create my own foundation of values and morals that I want to hold. Because right now I'm developing myself. And I don't know if I want to be known as someone that loves to drink wine on a Friday evening, or someone that doesn't do no drugs at all. Like, I don't know what kind of values I want to attach to my identity yet, because there's so much options. You could be anything you want. What do you want to be? That's hard for me to figure out.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's just a you thing. I think most people are having this issue, and a lot of people, don't know how to articulate it. I think a lot more people would like to say that they know a lot more about themselves than they actually do.
Well, I feel like a lot of people have let life identify them, and I kind of want to do that before life. Because if you do something over and over again, it becomes a habit. Now you can't change it, even if you don't like it.
Not for
being
you.
born to this earth, being chokehold by life? No.
I know. I spoke very, very briefly on emotional regulation, emotional maturity on the last episode, and one of my friends who's also been on the episode, shout out to Shiffy, he texted me. He was like, yeah, man, that shit hit home, because that's something I definitely used to have issues with, was just like controlling my emotions, especially in high stakes situations, And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't feel good to acknowledge, if you can acknowledge it, that in high stakes situations, you are just a puppet to misery and anger and sadness and spite and, vengeance. Like, you don't want to feel like a puppet to these things. Like, I have no control. It's just whatever this person says to me, they control how I feel. Like, they can make me mad if they want to. They can make me sad. They can be my puppet, or the puppeteer. You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to feel that way, that it was just simply anybody can make me feel however they want me to, right? Like, that's not a good feeling. So I understand wanting to build your own foundation and, just getting away from just being simply reactionary to, the closest external factors at any given point in time.
I mean,
it's a journey.
I still react.
I'm sorry. I mean, yeah.
I still say a lot of interesting things, but
interesting things.
I think honestly, it's not even me. I think a lot about my future, and I really want my future kids to be happy to call, me their mom. And I was like, what qualities or what characteristics do you want your kids to label you as, or do you want your husband to label you and become that? Mm-hmm. So,
what have you come up with so far?
Hot. I'm kidding. I don't know yet.
Your two children are going to be hanging out with each other, like playing ball, and they're just going to be like, "Yo, have you ever noticed that like mom is really hot?
She's so pretty,
she's super hot, man." Like, I was just thinking about that. That's funny.
I'm messing with you. No, I don't know yet.
To a degree, you're messing with me. How much stock do you give in your physical appearance?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, as in like, I was never called beautiful growing up.
Where did you grow up?
Here, Manassas.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, Lord, don't put.
You think they coming for you?
I mean, you never know these days. I live in Ohio.
She just thank you for taking the flight to Virginia just to do this podcast.
Yeah, that's why I almost canceled.
Right, for sure. Yeah. I understand. I heard there was some turbulence on that flight. Yeah, it was a lot. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shout out to the pilot that got her here safely.
That's funny. I was going to be... No, never mind. Anyway. I just was never considered pretty. I don't know. I've never...
What do you mean you were never... Who are you talking to? Like, who's talking to... Okay, did people say you're not pretty, or just people just didn't say anything at all?
No, I was called ugly. No, they made sure...
What age?
This is like middle school to high school. And then I remember...
When did you grow to look like you do now?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Do you have photos of the past?
I can look at myself and I can be like, oh, you look really cute. But the way I was being treated by like people, I was like, there's no way they find me attractive. Like, even till this day, like with men, or when I go to like the bar and stuff, there'll be girls dancing and they'll have guys come up to them. I get the guys at the end of the night be like, oh, you fine as fuck. I was like, how come you never said anything to me?
Oh, the end of the night.
The end of the night, and I'm sitting, I was like, I don't know. So I really don't know. And I'm still debating today if not that I think I like myself. I like my face, but based on society, like, I don't know if I meet their standards. Like, those TikToks where they ask you, like, rate yourself from 1 to 10. Mm-hmm. That's like I like to daydream. I was like, okay, pretend they ask.
This is when.
Wait. Okay, I want to ask you.
This is the level of delusion.
Rate yourself 1 to 10.
We're talking about physically?
Yeah.
Fucking. Mm-hmm. No, because I actually have a whole rating system.
What?
Yeah, I used to do this. So this is funny because I don't know if I've ever talked about it on this podcast before. So friends of mine always used to be like, hey, man, what you think she is? Oh, man, she's an 8, man. Oh, what you think? Nah, you got it wrong, bro. She's a 9, right? They're like, really? I think she's a 6, to be honest with you. Right? Like that sort of talk. And I'm always like, guys, do you ever think about, like, let's be superficial. Forget about the deep stuff. Like, we don't need to, because this isn't a deep conversation really, unless we're going to get deep into the superficial, which we can do. Mm-hmm. 10 would be perfect. Like, that would be Mount Olympus. That would be fucking Hercules, right? Like, level of sexy. And whoever you think that person is, if you're a Beyonce type of person, or maybe you're a Rihanna type, or maybe you're Eva Mendes, there are all these different types of people that, people think are like the apex of beauty. Whoever you think that person is if you're walking down the street and you say, oh, that person's a 9, then what you're saying is that person is 1 point away from whoever you think is at the very top in the world, whoever you think that is, which to me, that falls flat. Like, I'm like, they're 1 point away. They're 1 point. So my thing was this. I was like, guys, we have to put together a real system. And the system is this. If you're talking about averages, 0 to 10, 5 is the average.
Yeah.
5 is, by the way, not a bad looking person. That is the average looking person. You take all the people, the average person, that's a 5, which isn't bad. That's that's who most people are dating, because that is most people. So it's not an ugly person. But once you get below 5, then what you're saying is, well, we have the average people, and then now we're docking points. Mm-hmm. Now we're saying, well, this nose or these lips or this thing, whatever it is your thing is taking away points from them even being an average person. And anything above that, you're saying these physical attributes are higher than the average human being. Mm-hmm. So I think, just to be fair, people should get into the 10th place, maybe even the 100th. So if we're gonna play that game, let's not play the game. I'd say I'm somewhere between a 6.35 and a 7.1, something like that. The reason being because
not the decimals.
Yeah, because again, you got to be a little bit more precise about where we are and why not. So the thing is, you asked me that, do I think that I'm ugly? Answer is no. Do I think that I'm at least the average human being physical? Yeah.
Why do you think society cares about your attractiveness or your beauty?
I think it's deeply evolutionary.
You think it's evolutionary?
I to some degree. Because some of the things that we find attractive, like maybe, certain people want like a big, strong man or something like that. It doesn't have to be, Jason Momoa, like big, mm-hmm. Like you don't got to look like The Rock, even though a lot of women love The Rock. There's something about being a protector there. Something about being, again, like the lion pride. Like there's something about being someone on top that, again, can protect, that can call shots, that can give sense of security, and more than, now that we're humans, more than just a way of protecting. But, I want to make sure that I can like be all right. Very rarely do I see women choose the guy at the bottom of the totem pole in like a friend group, right? The bottom of the totem pole being, that's the guy that maybe gets made fun of more than the rest of the guys, isn't seen, because we're talking about body language again, isn't seen amongst the men as like a prime figure in that group of friends. We don't necessarily have to come to this person for answers to things. They're just going to come along with us, right? There's a certain way that you look at them and you give respect throughout your words and your sayings. And so I think that people look at that sort of thing. Now we're getting into alpha males and beta males and stuff like that. Yeah, no. I think that you can be an alpha male and be, in just an evolutionary sense, and be kind and considerate at the same time. And I think that a woman would choose the kind, considerate alpha male over the kind, considerate beta male, unless they like to control their significant other. Then in that case, I'll take the beta male, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that people, that's one thing. But once we get past the evolutionary part of it, I think that we have grown to be this way. I don't think it's that way all over the world, because again, body types differ in different parts of the world, and the level of demand for different body types exists in the world. I can speak to America a bit more than I can anywhere else. And so I'll say that we've made like a sickening turn somewhere where we overly fetishize over the physical. I like physical. I'm a physical person. I would most certainly choose, as I just said with the beta male, alpha male thing, I would choose a beautiful, physically that I found beautiful woman that also had the kind, thoughtful characteristics, right? over one that was uglier but also had those things, right? I wouldn't take a super hot chick that was mean and just like angry and hated life. Like I wouldn't take that, but it matters to some degree. Like it matters to just look and say, wow, like you're just beautiful. Like I like to look at you. It's something about, and maybe I can't even explain it. Maybe a lot of it has to do with like golden ratio, and it's simply symmetry and things like that I'm picking up subconsciously that I'm not even aware of, but I'm like, I just look at this thing and you take a double take. You're like, whoa, I didn't even choose to be attracted to you. I just find you highly attractive, and I can't take that away. I can't etch that out of my mind. So that's just what it is.
I mean, do you think there are things that influences your attractiveness or your people that you are attracted to?
Oh yeah.
Have you?
For sure.
Have you dated any black girls?
I've dated. Yeah. I'm sorry. Continue.
Any dark-skinned black girls? Yeah. No, this is a question I have to ask black men because let's have the conversation. There's a lot of black men that don't date dark-skinned girls.
I've met them. I've had talks with them,
and I don't really understand.
I had a conversation with one like a month ago actually about this.
And even now, the type of men that approach me are non-black. They're either African or white. I had a Spanish guy, but no black guys don't approach me. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, okay.
You think it's alarming? Do you care at all?
I think I put it, how do I word this? I start to become more insecure because I think that it's me or it's my dark skin. They don't like me because I'm ugly, rather than they have issues. It's me.
It pains me to hear you say those words, and I won't be the only one that feels that way that listens to that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why why I sometimes look at men to determine my worth.
Yeah.
What authority do men have to tell me how much I'm worth or if I'm worthy at all? Nobody has that.
It's a very good question.
Nobody has that authority.
It's a very good statement.
So I don't know. I'm learning.
Mm. Yeah, it takes a long time because what you're going through right now is you have just articulated logically why it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it takes time for that to settle into your heart.
Yes, because, well, I realize with being pretty, it comes with privileges.
Yes.
And, like, this is horrible to say, but it's like, I want to know if I'm pretty, if I can get those privileges. Oh, because you can't. Like if someone you don't find attractive is doing things, and you're just like sit down, like calm down.
Yeah,
I want to know if I do those things, nobody's gonna be like, sit down, calm down, child, calm down, honey, you're not bad.
That is so funny. You're trying to figure out if I can get in on some of these.
No, seriously.
Right.
I think beauty or being attractive is not important until there's something you can get out of it. Mm. Like, I want the privileges. It will make life a little bit easier.
For sure.
It would make life so much easier.
I want you to get the privileges. Damn it.
I know. So
I want you to get them. No,
it's so horrible to say because nobody wants to admit that there is pretty privilege, or you could be your attractiveness can determine how someone treats you. Like it's not a fun thing to realize, but from what I've seen in this country, if you look good, if you sound good, you're going to go far. You're gonna go. Am I lying? Did I lie? I did it.
Yes.
I'm being so serious.
I know. I can tell. I know. We all know.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm just joking.
Nah, you don't get to finish that off with I'm just joking. Nah. Absolutely not. Yeah, no, I mean, privileges are there to be had, and you can't use what you don't got, right? So everyone is trying to figure out how to get in on the game, right?
Honestly. No, everything is so hard to get these days. Like, you have, and even as far as careers, in my experience, it's been through connections, and I realized that I kind of have to put a show or to grab their attention enough for them to come back to me. It's crazy. And I was like, okay, if I looked any different, or if my voice was, I can't do the low voice. If my voice
was you about to throw something sexy on? What were you about to do just now?
No,
Go ahead, give us the
I was trying to have a more deep voice or a masculine, or because I feel like because even my name. So my name, I have accents on my E. My name's Ayéle, but in the States, I realized everybody loves Tiffany, Courtney. Like, sure. They like the ring of things. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna name myself Ayéle, and they eat it up all the time. That's such a pretty name. I wonder why.
Yeah.
You guys like when things look good, sound good. It doesn't have to be good. But
well, I mean, judging names, I mean, it's not like the last name wasn't good and this iteration of the name is better. It's not that. But I understand what you're saying. Some things ring off better to certain people depending upon what you grew up and what the phonetics were that you grew up with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's mostly what it is. Because I have friends that have all sorts of names, and like my Congolese friends I was telling you about. I remember when I first started going out to like a Chick-fil-A with them or something like that, and he would just be like, "Listen, man, I'm gonna tell these people my name. Just don't worry about it." And I was like, "All right." And then we go up there. He'd be like, "Yeah, I'll have a 12-count nugget. If I can have like a large fry, I'll have a milkshake, strawberries, and can I have like a pump of Oreo, like cookies and cream in there too? Can I have a name for the order? Eric." And I'd be like, "Nigga, that is not your name. Your name is Uzima. Your brother's name is Ushindi. No, your other brother's name is Gluar."
I think as an immigrant, I had a different perspective on life. Like, my parents have deep African accents, and I could see how they get treated differently from people that don't have accents, or how if I wear different things, the type of hair I have, like, I get treated differently.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, game on.
I believe that 1,000%. Yeah.
I'm going to figure out how I could be the best version of myself physically, so I can try
so you can get these privileges.
Yes. It sounds so shitty.
So you can get these life coupons.
Yes.
Yeah, no, when it comes to dating, I've always, for as long as I can remember, which is funny because something didn't hold me back. And I can't tell you exactly why, but I've been attracted to not everyone, women. But I talked about it on the last one. If I could be attracted to men, I would. Like, I just don't.
Why?
Because I wish, maybe not wish, maybe wish is strong, but if I just enjoyed people on the merit of their character through and through, then that's the type of person that I would want to be. But there is a blockage there, and it's a blockage I'm going to live with, and I'm just fine with living with it because I love women. But, that's in a degree, it's like sometimes you hear people say, I'm not attracted to dark-skinned women, or I'm not attracted to whomever, and you wonder why. And maybe they have the same sentiment. If I could, I would. Like, it's not like I dislike black women, or dark-skinned black women to be exact, but I can't bring myself there for some reason. For whatever reasons, maybe I was indoctrinated by media or my parents or whatever. I don't even know who to blame it on.
I don't think a race of a woman is similar to liking a whole different like sexuality or a whole different sex.
Okay.
I think that's completely. I don't know. I feel like that's
tell me why. Or should I tell you why I think what I think, and then you rebuttal, whatever you want to do. It's your choice.
You tell me, then I'll.
Okay. It is a human being. And if you can grant that a very noble stance to take on approaching human beings would be, I care about your character. I care about how you treat people, how you treat me, how you treat yourself, the substance to what it is you think about and how you manifest your thoughts and ideas. Like, if those things mattered most, which you could say is the most important part of a human being.
But I'm sorry. But when it comes to race, what does that got to do with their characteristics, like their behavior? Do you think your race and certain races are associated with certain behaviors?
No, but that's the whole point I'm saying, is that it doesn't. So therefore, I should like you. If your characteristics and your qualities are there, same way if you were a man, right, and I'm a man, but if I was simply going off of your characteristics, your qualities, then I would be just as attracted to you as I would a woman, only I can't. I can't bring myself to want to be sexually intimate with a man, right? So, and it has nothing to do with your quality. You could have been the greatest man I've ever met. You could have been the coolest guy. You got a great relationship with your family and you love people and you're kind and you're nice and you're generous and you're smart and you're funny and you're ambitious and you're a dreamer still. And like, you can have all these awesome qualities, but I'm still not going to have sex with you. Right. And so a man might be like, now I'm not saying that this is just the general consensus amongst homosexual men, but a man could be like, damn, like you like me. You like me and you like my qualities more than any woman you've ever met in your life. But yet you won't give me a chance.
I don't know, man. Cause this is also like I think I saw a video of this little girl saying like, I love my friend. She's this, she's that. Am I a lesbian now, mommy? Like, and it's like, whoa, like what happened to platonic? Like you can love someone and not want to have sex with them.
Do you think but I won't have sex with any man. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It's like I can only have platonic friends.
Because you're straight.
And that's my point. So we don't have a term for I don't like this type of person, right? Like I don't like Hispanic guys, or I don't like Asian men, or I don't like dark-skinned women. We don't have terms for that. But for some reason or another, our preferences have been shrunken, and that person, whatever demographic that is, hasn't made it into that sphere of desire. And I don't know, because I'm certain it differs for everyone, because I don't know what the difference or what the deficit is for these men or these women for that matter that don't like these other demographics of people. I don't know. I'd have to speak with them. The conversations I've had with black men specifically, since we're kind of on that, towards dark-skinned women, they're never good. Like they're never logical. Like it never makes any sense. Like they're always like backtracking and going in circles and saying a bunch of nonsensical things. Like it never makes any sense. So they don't know why. And I don't get to know why, because they don't know, so they can't tell me, right? All I know is that as I've grown up, I've just been attracted to women that I find beautiful inside and out. And that's been Afghan women, Moroccan, African, Black American, white, Hispanic, of all sorts. I've just dated everyone because I think that people are beautiful. But it still remains within the realm of women. You know what I mean? So again, I don't know what it is, and I could definitely be wrong in it being similar, or me even likening it to, the sexes. Although I think I'm on to something. It kind of rings true to me. I haven't had it explained to me. I haven't had it refuted strong enough yet, but I also just started having these thoughts. I just started unpacking these in my mind. But yeah, I think it's quite similar. And I don't think that we know the reasons, and I don't think we can find out all the reasons as to why we're attracted to some types of people and others. I think that we can confabulate. I think that we can come up with reasons logically in our minds and be unaware of the real reasons that are actually playing in our subconscious. And I think we more often than not come up with a bunch of different reasons as to why we like certain people and we're not interested in other people, and we don't actually know why. I think the subconscious plays a huge role that people don't take into account because it is by nature the subconscious, right? So you're not really aware of it. You're not taking it into account. I think there's a whole lot of that going on. And there's a really cool book about that Mikey sent me a long time ago called How the Subconscious Rules Your Mind, I believe it's called. Yeah, it's a really cool book. So yeah, I don't know. But again, it does pain me to hear you that you're trying to like figure out if you're pretty or not because you're pretty. So like, you know what I mean? Like, that may not mean much. Like that may not have done anything for you right now. But you know, yeah, you should get some. You should get some of these privileges. That's what it comes down to. You should get some of these privileges. I'm on board to get you privileges.
I hope so. It's a tough world out there.
Whatever's got to happen. But yeah, people are constantly trying to figure out how to get in the game. Like, okay, I wasn't given this. So like, what do I got to do? Like, this is, by the way, when it comes to men, this is how they try to figure out women their whole life. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, I was born and I'm an adult now and I'm fucking 5'5". So now I have to figure out how I'm going to combat against these 6'4" motherfuckers in the club because they're standing out in the crowd and they're the first thing that you see when women look up is that guy. I'm behind that guy and his friends. So I'm already literally 3 or 4 in line. Like I'm 3rd or 4th in line.
I don't know. I've never dated a guy solely like based on his physical appearance. Like I've dated guys that I thought were ugly.
Well, that is very kind of you.
No, I said like I don't feel like with men you guys don't have to figure out if you meet the standard when it comes to attractiveness. Like if it's getting the girl, if it's getting a girl, then I don't think that's a huge problem. But if you were a girl and you were ugly based on like society standard, it's harder to date than an ugly man. I think that I'm using these words lightly.
No, I understand. Nobody. Yeah, I know. We're throwing around the word ugly flippantly.
I don't think anybody is ugly, but based on I don't think people are ugly. I just think based on society's standards, you don't meet it. But to look at someone physically speaking, to look at someone and just think they're ugly, it's really hard for me to do that. You looked at someone, you thought they were ugly, like you had that thought, like, dang, you're ugly.
No, but we're using so you're using the word ugly, but for someone in that person's position, which is kind of to a degree. Okay, imagine your position in life where you've been trying to figure out whether you're pretty or not in this world. Mm-hmm. And you're a pretty person. So imagine someone that, for the sake of the superficial game, mm-hmm. are 3 points below you. Mm-hmm. 3 whole points. Mm-hmm. Meaning if you're a 6 or a 7 or an 8, there are 5 or 4 or 3. Like, so then they are every day presented with the idea of I think I'm an ugly person, which is the incel community, the involuntary celibates. Mm-hmm. There are a bunch of guys, mostly guys, that are angry with women. There's a whole community of guys out there mm-hmm. that hate women and also hate good-looking guys, mm-hmm. and they vow to just fucking hate women, and there have been mass shootings because of it. There's just been a whole lot of disrespectful rhetoric online in regards to women because of it. So there are certainly men that feel, marginalized because of their unattractiveness. Like that's a real deal thing. And I've known guys, I've been friends with guys that just have the hardest time in the world with women, and they're nice guys. They're nice
to the girls. Do they approach the girl?
Oh yeah, they'll approach. But we're all the things that need to be there. What we need to have a real conversation is, and you've already started it, is the beauty privilege thing, and it does go on both sides. It may not be as heavy, but there's something on the guy's side too. It's not like you can't just be any old guy and think that any old woman is just going to deal with you, because women, for the most part, I think, have a larger pick of the litter than men do. And you have to start thinking, well, what do I bring to the table? So now you're stacking up your contributions. Like, do you make decent money? I hope so. If you're also 5'5" and women don't necessarily find you that attractive.
Girls look at all of that?
I don't think that they go home and like open up a book and write in their ledgers about it and like take notes. But I think that women are extremely perceptive, intuitive beings, hence the phrase women's intuition. And they look at things and they calculate things very quickly. If they're attracted to men, if they want to spend more time around this guy or not, if they feel a creepy vibe or not, whatever the vibe is, which again is the summation of all the things I'm reading from you, tonally, body language, all that sort of stuff. So non-verbally, I guess I should just say. And yeah, so I think that women definitely look at that. I mean, I love speaking with women, by the way. And I've had them tell me this over and over and over. Yeah, for sure. I think that maybe you're dealing with a much, broader and non-physically judgmental lens. And because I don't know how many people you talk to about this subject and how broad that pool of people is, but I think that you're working with inside your lens, your perspective, and maybe you're just a bit nicer and kinder of a person, and just a bit more liberal on who you will allow to proposition you.
I'm so kind for dating a guy that's 5'5".
Yeah.
So kind.
Yeah, and again, this is no shade to guys that are 5'5". It's just, there are just certain things that women are like, man, I really hope he's tall. Or like, I really hope that he's got a fucking car, or he's got some money, or that he's, it doesn't hurt that he's got a chiseled face and that he exercises a few times a week. Like, these things don't hurt. It doesn't have to be the end all be all, but it certainly don't hurt. And so that's all that is. But yeah, there's so many things that go inside of whether you want to date someone or how much time you want to invest in them.
Yeah, I haven't had like a grown woman relationship yet. So, and I think right now in my life, I don't want a relationship, but I want attention. So
okay.
It's like, I don't know.
What sort of attention are you looking for? Like, how do you want it to manifest? Like,
are
you into gentlemen or do you like assholes? Let's start there. Honestly.
I like gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Attention as in, like, if I'm dancing, then come dance with me, or...
Okay.
I don't know, just...
Come dance with me, or come and ask me if you would... I would like to dance.
Because I'm in the corner I'm not in the corner. I like to be like more in the middle. And then sometimes I have my sunglasses on, or I have my eyes closed. And I'm just like...
Oh, you got your sunglasses on in the club?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am that...
Oh. Okay.
And I'm dancing. Like, if a guy was just, I don't know, grab my hand and just started dancing with me, like, that's hot. I like that.
Okay.
Rather than him, I had a few guys ask me, can we dance or something, and it kind of ruined the vibes.
It's a weird playing field out here, because I see what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying. Do you understand how much trouble men have been getting in for the last few years for doing anything that
I didn't say
risky?
grab my ass.
Whoa,
I didn't say grab my ass.
Hold on.
Okay, but guys get in trouble at the club because they be grabbing other things but your hands.
Oh, but even if it's not your ass, let's get away from that part of the anatomy for a second. Let's focus on your hand. a lot of men are super uncomfortable just walking up and grabbing. Now, you've learned something else, right? You say that you've learned, I guess, maybe from your parents, just your lineage for the most part, to be more of a submissive, correct?
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people here are not down with, yo, come grab my hand and walk me out to the middle of the club like that.
I think that's fine.
I understand again your lens, the way that you're looking things, your literal lenses, because you're wearing shades in the club. Let's talk about that for a second.
What's the problem?
No problem for you necessarily. What I will say is this: you talked about being the woman at the end of the night, right? The guys are like, "Hey man, you looking fine. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I've been looking at you like for the past 4 hours, and like, what's up?" Whatever it is they're saying to you. So much about what we're talking about and the essence of our conversation in this podcast has been about how do people perceive you? Right? What are you giving off? And there's certain things you can do that don't necessarily read, I want you to come make a connection with me right now. One of them is, you cannot connect with my eyes right now. These are blacked out. I don't want you looking in my eyes. I can look in your eyes, but from behind this veil. And that doesn't necessarily seem like the most open thing in the world.
Well, honestly, like, I didn't wear sunglasses to the club at the beginning. But once I realized that, like, ain't nobody's gonna go dance with you, like, I was like, I want to close my eyes and I just want to enjoy myself. So that's when I started wearing sunglasses, where either way my eyes are going to be closed because I already know how the night's going to go. So I would rather dance with myself than like just watch.
So you're like encasing yourself in your own sort of romanticized world.
It's that was.
Oh, you must be having a good time out there.
I will if I'm by myself, or even if I'm in a group of people, like, I want to make sure that I truly enjoy music and dancing. Like, I love it. I don't know if I would like to continue to do it at the club because I just don't get the best. I don't know. I haven't met like really cool people.
Damn, man.
I haven't, but then again, a lot of people don't approach me, and I try to talk to people, and I don't know. It's just they're drunk and I'm drunk, so we're not really like. What are we?
Yeah.
There's not much we're talking about.
You know what is another thing
What?
that people don't take into account when thinking about being chose when they're out? This is gonna sound wild, but it's truth. Let's get back to the pride, the lions, right? Fuck, this sounds wild. But it's so truthful though. If there are, I don't even know what you call it, a herd of gazelle. Do you think that the lion is going after what looks to be the strongest, most competent, quickest, most agile gazelle in the herd? Or are they going after the gazelle that had a little too much to eat, or maybe looks a little tired, or maybe fucking had a twisted ankle on the last encounter by a lion? It's going after the easy kill.
I don't think lions look at that. I really think.
Oh, what?
I think if a lion's hungry and there's just a lot of them, he'll just go to the first one.
Nah, lions are animals can definitely pick out if one animal out of 20 animals are hurt, or if they're babies, or if they're not as strong. Like, they can definitely see that, and they're like, oh, I'm going after you. Like, you're not getting away from me. Like, the rest of them are going to have to run, but what are you going to do? Like, that's what people prey on small calves and stuff like that. Because it's like, this calf ain't getting away from me. I'm a full-grown lion. I'm going to get some dinner tonight. This is easy, right? So, like... But
I don't think... As far as like using that example,
I think that men do it. I think that men have looked at me and looked at a woman and been like, yo, she look easy.
No. What does easy look like? No, please describe what.
How long you been going out again?
Not too long.
You said you 20. You 22. You've been going out for like 2 years because you started drinking in 20.
Technically a year.
Oh, so really just
I'm a newbie.
Oh yeah. See. Let me. Okay. Listen.
Educate me, 30-year-old. Come on. No, because you want to talk about my age.
No, that's a fact though, because when it comes to me. Yeah, I'm 31. Let's get into it. And not only that, but I've packed a lot into those years.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, for sure. So it's there. What does easy look like? It's funny because it's like the antithesis of what cool, calm, collected, owning oneself, like knowing oneself, like you can. Like I was talking about Rihanna, like you can look at certain people and be like, they ain't about the bullshit. Like they will call me out on my shit. They seem intelligent, or something about them seems like quick-witted. Like they seem clear, right? Like they don't seem all like drugged up and fucking stumbling around. Like even if they're having drinks, which I'm having right now, keep that in mind, right? Like they seem clear. And it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to get over a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of the lines that I've gave these last 10 women. It ain't going to work on her. She's going to hold me to my shit. Like I got to come sharp. I got to come correct to her. Right. There's that. And if there's that, then
how are you able to see that at a club where we're all just kind of mushed together?
I think that it is something that you don't have when you're young. I think that you grow by watching people and you see iterations of people throughout time. Mm-hmm. And then you slowly start to pick up who is who and what is what. And so it's like, oh, I've seen this type of person before. And it's weird because you are condensing people into types. But there's truth to that. And it's like, I've seen this type of person before. And every single time I've seen what I think this type of person is, they've put out on the first night, right? And then you try it and you're like, oh shit, who do you know? I'm having sex right now with this person. They put out again, right? And then there are just other people that it's the way that they carry themselves. It's just such a continuation, such a continuum of these features that happen at a moment's notice. And I think that guys and women look across the bar or wherever they're at and they think, I don't have a chance with that person. Or I do have a chance with that person. Now, they could easily be wrong about that. They could easily be judging who they are, who the other person is, because you don't know shit about that person. You're just looking at them, right? And even within that, there's some truth. There's some truth in there. You could be off, and you can need some refinement with your glasses, but there may be something there, because if you feel like you are not the most confident person and that you mostly get away with cheap tricks, right? Like I've known guys to be amazing performers. And when I say performers, I mean they're the guys that the other guys are looking at, because they go out and they're funny and they're witty and they always have something to say, and maybe they can dance. They can impress upon women easily. When it comes to substance, they're lacking a bit, right? And so those guys could know, I could go over here to this group of women and I could end up dancing with all of them, getting their numbers. I'll even be the wrangler and get this group of women to come fuck with my dudes over here, and then we could all be hanging out at the end of the night. I'm that guy. But even that guy knows his limits, and knows when he's looking at a woman that's like highly intelligent or thoughtful, profound in her perspective about things. And sometimes you just look at people and it could just be like a straight back, a head held high, like a certain gaze, like right into your eyes. Like I'm not shy, I'm not bashful, I'm not like looking around, I'm looking straight into your eyes. And certain times when you approach someone and they look straight in your eyes and they're like, I'm here for whatever. They're looking straight at you. I'm not afraid of any of this. I'm also not trying to intimidate you. I'm just comfortable in my skin. You know, once you give someone that vibe, that can deter someone. You've seen it if you go on the apps or even in person. People are just like, yeah, no, like that person's not attainable to me. So instead, I'm going to go after, instead of going after the 8 or the 9 or the 10 that I'm clearly attracted to and would love to talk to, I'm going to go after the 6 or the 5 in my mind because that person's attainable. I have a much better success rate over here. And that's life. People actually move off of that program much more often than not. People are not going out and every time they see the most beautiful girl in the room, like, let me go walk up to her and talk to her. That's not happening. It's just like, damn, she's bad. But she's kind of cute. She seems like a much easier, much more attainable pursuit for me. And I'd much rather go over here and have a shot than go over here in what is in my mind, the story I'm telling myself, this narrative, waste my time because I'm about to just get played in front of her and her girls because she gonna look at me like, nigga, you think that you finna talk to me? All these dudes in here that look good and got money and you think I'ma choose you? Right? Like it's a story, it's a narrative. I don't think that it's always correct. I don't. I think that a lot of times people would surprise themselves if they went after someone that they were just interested in.
Honestly,
I think that they would.
Recently, I was with 2 of my guy friends, and we've been trying to get one of my, I'm trying not to say his name, one of my friends to start talking to girls. He's super shy, and he was like, Ayéle, you don't understand, blah blah blah. I was like, dude, just talk to them. And then they were like, oh, to go talk to, we were in traffic. He was like, go talk to the guy in the car next to us. So I rolled down the window. I said, what's up? Mm-hmm. You know? And he was like, is this a joke? Like, you think I'm cute? I was like, no, I think you're really cute. Mm-hmm. And we tried to exchange numbers, but the light went green and then we left. But I don't think men approach women as much anymore. This fear of being rejected has overpowered them even trying.
I'm with that.
So,
but that's what I'm telling you. That's exactly what I'm telling you. But if they were the gazelle with the twisted ankle, I'm trying. I don't know. I'm trying to tell you. I've literally been around a million guys a million times that have been like, yo, she look easy. Or been like, yo, she look like she ready. Which are wild ways to talk about someone.
Is it a power move for a girl to not have sex?
It can be, for sure. It depends on what the woman wants. It just depends on what the woman wants. If you're just into sex and want to have a great time, then you go have sex. Enjoy that. But I think it's age old by this point. We know that for the most part, there will be exceptions. He's Just Not That Into You is a great movie for this, actually. But there are exceptions to the rule. Mm-hmm. The rule is if you put out quickly, like that sense of novelty, that sense of pursuit, it's died down. That is the rule. There are exceptions. The guy could be an exception. The woman could be an exception. And the guy would be like, I don't care if she put out first night or not. I still think she's queen status. Mm-hmm. And I want to be with her. Right? And, or, you know, again, just the guy on his side could just be like, even if she gives out that, or she puts out is such an old term, but even if she has sex on the first night, that doesn't diminish the quality of her stature and her character. It doesn't, right? So you could have that other end of it. But as a rule, I think that women that just hold out a bit more, create a bit more of a desire, right? A bit more of a will to pursue from men. Mm-hmm. I think that's the case because I think that guys need to be slowed the fuck down a lot of times. And they need to, sometimes you just got to become friends. You got, like, I need to fuck with you on a real level.
Is it hard for you to be friends or keep it platonic with girls you find attractive?
Oh, nah, not anymore. Like, it used to be that way for sure. Like, I mean, before it wasn't even. I didn't even try, so I don't know how difficult it would have been. It wasn't even like if I was talking to someone that was attractive, I found them physically attractive, we hit it off. I'm like, well, I want to have sex with you. Like, let's do that too. Like, why? Let's do both of these things. But no, now, yeah, it's wild because a lot of it happened with me becoming an old fart, like you keep making fun of me for being. But yeah, a lot of it just happened with maturity. There was a point in time where I felt like that's what my relationship with women is going to be. Like, that's what it is. Why? Like, I legitimately, for the life of me, couldn't answer this question. Why would I just be friends with a woman that I found attractive? Like, why would we not have sex? That was a real, like, paradox in my mind, right? As simple as it seems, that was a real paradox. I was really going through that. Like, if they don't want to have sex with me, then why are we hanging? Like, I got the boys for that. Like, I can just hang out with the guys. Like, you know, if it's a woman that comes with a vagina attached to it, then my penis should come attached to that vagina.
I see.
That's the way that it went. Super rudimentary, unsophisticated, heathen-like thinking for sure. But that's where I was at. But yeah, no, now, absolutely not. I talk to, what would I say, mostly women. Most of the people that listen to this podcast are women, which is crazy. But yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, just something switched. Stop being such an asshole. Just understood the beauty and depth of human beings, period. Yeah, just started understanding the true indicators of happiness and social standing being one of the top ones. Like, how do people feel about me? Like, who can I call on? Who can I talk to? And if I'm just making relationships based off of who I'm trying to fuck this week, it doesn't really allow for a lot of other things that could be there that bear true, like, nutritious fruit, right? Because we're only looking at each other from a physiological standpoint. So, like, if we're not willing to do that, then I'm not going to call you. Right? We're not going to have this super awesome conversation that we've been having. Right? So there was a whole lot lacking there. I was malnutritioned.
It's so crazy. I haven't been on a lot of dates for me to, like, understand
half the shit I'm talking about.
Not even like flirting. Like, I don't.
Let's talk about flirting.
I got told that.
Uh-oh.
At my job, I was told at my yearly review that I was the most unprofessional. And there were many times where they thought I was flirting with the patients, or the patients were flirting with me. And after, like, getting to know me, they're like, that's just your personality. And rather than, like, regulate me, they're trying to regulate the men or just them rather than me. And then I was asking my friends, I was like, wait, what makes my personality flirty? Is it, I assumed that I was like, it was just my voice, or I just have a, yes. I just have a high voice, but, like, I don't, and to the point where I feel like when I can recognize a guy's flirting me, I get super awkward, and I, like, can't talk, or I'm talking too much, and I get nervous. And so I don't really know. I feel like I'm really naive to this crazy dating world. And it's a little scary.
There's a lot going on out there.
It's a little scary.
I love the game though. Because it is a game. Yeah, man. I love it. I love everything communication. I love it because it's a dance, right? Like, what do you do? What do I do? Like, are you laughing way too hard at a joke that I told that wasn't even like that? You know what I mean? Are you slapping my chest or, like, hitting my arm or my leg?
I do that just because that's just me.
Right.
And I don't think it's flirting.
Okay.
But it could come off as flirting.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So you don't know what the difference is between you just being who you regularly are. So you don't know how to flirt is what I'm saying. Like, consciously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is an issue.
Yeah, because you don't know when you're giving off the signals.
Yeah, I've gotten myself in a lot of like uncomfortable situation because they thought I was leading them on, or they assumed that I was trying to get more. But it was like, no, like it was just my personality. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and again, that's what gets weird, because when you talk about this gray area of flirting and what's acceptable and what's not, and you're talking about just come grab my hand at the club, right? Like, people don't know where the boundaries are. Like, they don't, because they'll hear that and they're like, oh, that's dope. And then they might go try it. And she's like, get the fuck up. What? Motherfucker, did you just grab? Did you just put your hands on me? And that's another perspective of like, don't just walk up to me and put your hands on me. Like, I don't know you. What are you doing right now? So it's a gray area, and I think it's very, very difficult, especially in the workplace when people spend 40 to 50 hours in a place, and that becomes kind of like a dating pool because they spend more time there than they do with their friends or their family. But you're also telling people it's inappropriate to like flirt or date people, but is that realistic? And like, what can or can you not do within the workplace? The safe answer is don't do anything. Don't touch anyone. Don't smile at anyone. Just, hey, how you doing? It's nice weather today, ain't it? And you just keep walking, right? And that is the avenue that a lot of people are taking. I'm not going to do a damn thing in this workplace because I don't want nobody going to HR talking about I harassed them when I was trying to be a little flirtatious and funny or whatever the case is. Like, you just don't know. The parameters are very, very malleable these days, and they move. They move with every individual because everyone has their own degree of boundaries and parameters for what is acceptable, what is inappropriate, what is cute, what is creepy, right? And there are all these jokes made that's like, well, it's not creepy if the person's hot. You know, so then here comes this privilege again. If it's like the most attractive person in the workspace, people are looking at that person like, yeah, he can flirt with me. She can flirt with me. Like, that's fine. But if it's not, if it's the person on the other end of the spectrum, whether you like to call people ugly or not, whoever that person is that is on the other end of the spectrum, it's not cute anymore, or it's not so inviting anymore. Like, so it's just, it's tough. It's tough out there, but I get it. But I enjoy it all. I enjoy the flirting aspect.
I don't know. I like first dates.
Okay.
I get super excited. I love getting to know people, but I don't know.
People listening to this are like, man, she's new to this. Wait till life beats her down.
No,
she's gonna. But
like, I'm so like anti-relationship right now that I hope that with my innocence, like, I'm able to find a man that values. I don't know, just values me. So I don't know. I'm not like so focused on it. I have a lot of crushes, but like, as far as I need a boyfriend, I need a husband, like, that's not on my mind right now. I think there's so many great things about life. I mean, when I get lonely, it's hard, but
like, it'd be nice to cuddle with someone right now.
But then I realized that it's like, I don't want them. I just want their attention.
You want the idea.
Want not even idea. Just honestly, it's so sad. Like, just I don't know. Just make me feel seen for like few minutes and then walk away. Whether it's like, hey, like, you look beautiful, or hey, like, you want to go grab coffee with me, or hey, I'm a great passenger driver. I mean, seat.
Yes.
I love just
co-pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll have friends be like, hey, I'm going to pick up something. You want to drive? Like, I like stuff like that. Give me that type of like attention. Then I can leave.
I've talked about a lot. I've heard this from women quite often. I've probably had like 3 conversations with 3 women, you being the third, in like a few days. And we've all talked about this exact thing, which is, what does love look like to them? Like, or not even love, but just what do they crave? What do they want? And how does it look? And I keep hearing a whole lot of, I need attention. I need you to look at me. I need you to touch me. Some people say, I need you. Now, this is getting on to like dating. monogamous relationship, not just like casual dating. I need this person to feel like they couldn't do this thing life without me. That's a perspective. It's not a perspective. It's not a perspective you about to get out of me. So I'm not the one for you. But yeah, there are definitely people that take it as far as, well, I need you to feel like this couldn't be done without me. Like, I need you to feel like you can't picture a life without me.
I think that's idolizing. I don't want you to idolize me. I think I want you to love me. But even if I did meet my future husband, I wouldn't be able to receive his love right now. So I don't know. That's not something I really...
That's a little bit of what I was just thinking about when you said, I hope with my innocence, I'll be able to find a man that can appreciate me. But yet we've already concretely laid down the idea that you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So what does him appreciating you mean when you don't know what that is? Right. So that's something that I feel like clearly now with your last statement, you understand that you need to figure some things out for yourself before you could even receive someone's love wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And I'm aware of that. And that's why I like to dance and like sing. Like I'm aware of that. That's why I'm not pursuing anything. But again, I'm still a female that likes the male gaze, and I will like attention here and there.
I ain't heard that likes the male gaze. You said that you wanted to learn about me, or you wanted to know who I was. Like, maybe that has a little bit to do as to why you're here in my apartment right now.
I was just honestly curious to figure out like who you are
and why. I mean, I understand that you listened to Rachel's episode on here. I believe it was episode 117. It's a fantastic. Just Sit Down is the name of that episode that just popped in my mind. Great episode. Loved her.
I love
you, Rachel. So you heard that, and then something hit you, and you had to think, man, I would like to know more about this person. And I want to know if you have any idea as to what that is. Because
I've been told that I'm a very deep thinker.
Okay.
And I wanted to just challenge.
You wanted to challenge me.
Like, is he really deep or is he just a dude?
Oh, fuck. Is he just a dude?
No, listen.
You know what's really fun? No, I'm going to let you go ahead.
Dead ass.
Go ahead.
There's some guys that, like, they're not deep at all. They just... they're vulnerable a little bit, and if a girl's like, "Oh my gosh, she's so deep," no, like,
I hope I'm vulnerable.
Yeah.
First of all, I definitely hope I'm vulnerable.
100%.
But that is funny because it took all of 3 minutes or so, and I'm setting up the camera, and I'm thinking, man, why am I getting this feeling that she's here to challenge me? I'm like, it's just like just the things I'm saying, like I didn't have the cup of water out when she got here, and but that was just a minuscule thing. But it seemed like everything I said, there was a question, but the question didn't come from just pure curiosity. It seemed like there was, let me like poke and prod just a little bit.
No, because I was, how do I word this? If you believe something, questions won't sway your beliefs. So for me to get a better understanding, I do ask questions. I ask a lot of questions because I want to understand. And I listen to every word and I keep it in my head. And then I ask another question and just see if they are correlated or this man just knows how to answer questions correctly. And I don't know. It's just
I see what you're saying.
Psychoanalyzing.
Yeah, okay. and tell me about your psychoanalysis so far. What do you have? The people are gonna love this. Whatever comes out of your mouth next, they're gonna love it.
I still am trying to figure out why you are so open, because even within the first few minutes, not only were you telling me vulnerable stuff about yourself, you were talking about things about your friends, and nothing negative, but like my
brother about to commit suicide and me not seeing him since then.
The gay was open. No, you had no gates here. You don't even got a door. And I was like, I was trying to figure out, like, maybe because, I mean, we're going to sit here for a couple of hours and talk, and he's trying to just get deep real quickly. But I'm still trying to figure out why you are so open, because I am open. I already told you, like, at first it was because I genuinely wanted a friend, and I'm just like, just see what's inside of me. Think, like, is it worthy? And then it became a thing where I don't know what the chances are of us being on Earth or being alive. Why not get to know everyone? Why not gain wisdom from the people around you? Why not gain new perspective? And, like, I love the little moments where I'm laughing with a stranger, or I genuinely love people. And
you should come, before this even ends, you should come back on this podcast.
Stop.
Regularly. No,
Why?
What do you mean? Because of what you just said. And because I feel the same way. Because why not? That's the answer. Because why not?
I might. I'm excited to see the growth.
You only live in Ohio. It's not that far away.
I know.
You can make this flight. You got money. You're good.
But yeah, I think you are, I think you're kind. I think you're a little cocky.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit.
I can see that. I haven't been called cocky in so long. Cocky. I guess. I guess so. Sure.
What else? I think you're a good guy. I mean,
cocky. Well, I mean, as far as that goes, in this small amount of time that we've been able to, this small prism of time, cocky. Let's hone in on this.
Oh my goodness!
Like where? Like cocky in what sense?
I don't know. It's more of like your body language, the way the words that you use, like you explaining. I mean, I guess we're on a podcast, so you kind of sometimes you do need to explain things further, or it's just you sound like you are a character and the narrator of your life.
Oh, yes, that's exactly it. Yes. Yeah, you hit it on the nail. That's exactly who I am. I am the observer and the character at the same time. I see myself going through life, but at the same time, there is a sense of consciousness, there's a sense of distance between what this character, this being Earl, is doing and the observations of what that person is doing. and so what I have found is that if you can do both of those things, you have this beautiful duality to life that, like, sharpens both blades, because it sharpens the observer and it sharpens the character, because the character, the narrator, can tell the character what is happening and how they're doing things.
But I think true growth comes after you zoom out and you realize that you're part of a bigger story. Right. And that's where I'm at, where I'm so stuck in my head and again in my beliefs that I forget there's other ways of doing the things. Oh. And again, I'm not God. And I was really confused.
Well, thank you for letting us know. Because for a second I thought, does she think she's God? No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
I was like, well, I may only say that because your intro is like something God within greets the God with you, or something like that.
Namaste. The God in me honors the God in each and every one of you.
I remember when you said that, I was like, dang, I don't want to be a God. Thank God I'm not God.
Yes. Yes.
But I lost my train of thought.
That's all right. This is probably just lingering off the end of me being cocky and thinking I'm God.
Oh my goodness! This is where the root was, the cockiness.
Yeah. That's what the root.
I'm curious. What was your impression of me? Impression, whatever the word is.
Impression. Yeah. Definitely. Again, definitely ready for a challenge. It definitely seemed like you were ready for a challenge, which is so funny because I think that people think that about me, that they're gonna get like a challenge, and maybe you do, but it's just based off of the honest observations and interpretations of things that I can make. It's never because like I'm necessarily trying to poke and prod and unearth something ungodly or nasty about you. It's never that. It's just like you said. No,
but you excel in this identity that you are a vulnerable deep thinker.
Well, again, none of this is of my own. When I say that, I mean the interpretations or the information is only ever feedback. So the only reason that I think that I'm a deep thinker is because I observe. And if I spoke to people often and they talked about things at the level of depth that this character Earl speaks about things, then I would be like, oh, I mean, you pretty much think like everyone else. Like, but it just doesn't seem to be that way. It's not because I'm just in my room alone and I'm like, I'm a deep thinker. It's because I talk to people and like they articulate things and I'm gauging after speaking to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people exactly how people think and articulate their words and what they think about. And it's only because of that feedback that I'm like, oh, I must be a deep thinker. It's not in any arrogant or narcissistic way. It's just an introspective, oh, this is what's happening here geographically speaking, my soul, my being, whatever you want to call it. And what's going on out here, there seems to be a clear delineation between the two. That's all that is. It's just like if you're good at anything. Like if you're a really good fucking basketball player and you're just dunking all over people and doing a bunch of wild shit and you notice that other people aren't doing that, you're like, oh, I must be pretty good. Like I just must be. It's not me playing basketball by myself thinking I'm good. I'm out here dunking on people. I'm like good. I played at varsity, then I went to college, then I went to the NBA. Like I must be good. So the metric isn't the same because I don't get to go to the NBA of thinking or talking, right? But you still get to stand around people and talk with them on a quite frequent basis. If you're me, because I talk to people on a frequent basis. And there's a clear delineation between the way that I think about things and the way that other people do. And especially the way that in which I express it in the way that they do. So that's
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I've always identified myself as a deep thinker. And it is. I mean, once people talk to me, they kind of get that gist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, deep thinker, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, that's all it is. But you're trying to figure out, again, why I'm so open. That's something that, shit, who could figure that out? Who could figure that out? I could give you a bunch, again, I could confabulate. I could throw a bunch of reasons out there that I think are the case, or at least something that exacerbated that growth or that part of me. But I couldn't tell you, like, why the essence even exists. You know, we could say something about lineage. Like my grandfather was an artist and you look him up, Earl J. Hooks on Google, Earl Jerome Hooks, look him up. Right. So like maybe there's something there. Or there's something even deeper in the lineage that I don't know about, or it's something cosmic that I could never even imagine because I'm a stupid human being. And there's no way I would ever be able to wrap my mind around it. Like I couldn't tell you. I could tell you I've read a lot of books. I could tell you I've meditated constantly throughout my entire day. Every day is a meditation. I'm constantly just like breathing and feeling things and looking at people. And I'm trying my damnedest to be attentive to everything that passes in any given moment. Right. It's like my religion in a sense. So I could tell you those things. I could tell you that yin yoga saved my life in many ways. I could tell you that art and conversation has saved my life in many ways. And, you know, even dug deeper, whatever the profundity is to my soul and my being and my thought processes. I could tell you all these things. And I'm certain to some degree that they're all true, or they all had some sort of factor to them, all these variables. But I still would probably be so off, even if I took the next 3 hours trying to list off shit, I'd still probably be off because I'm stupid. So that's how I feel.
Again, it's just a first impression.
It's okay. Yeah. First impressions are interesting. It's interesting how they can just flip flop, how they can like become something completely different the more time you spend with someone. It's fascinating. Yeah,
we've only went on the surface, right?
Yeah, I mean, where are we at right now? Almost 2 hours. Did you think that? I didn't know. I haven't been thinking about it at all. And again, with your fogginess of time, who knows how long you've been thinking that we've been talking here?
I don't know, man. Time is weird. Time is a weird thing.
It's definitely weird. I've been saying that all week. I mean, more than all week, but this week in particular, I've just been like, fuck, time is moving.
I don't know. I think it was like Labor Day. That extra day just kind of threw everything off. And then, I don't know, once Labor Day comes and goes, like, I feel like we're in like the midst of, because I started school and we're in.
Why are you rolling your eyes at school? What's going on, man? How they treating you in there?
I mean, pretty good. Like, I'm doing well, but I mean, I don't know if I want to finish my degree, which I'm supposed to graduate in May, or get started with my career. I was like, why do I want my degree? Is it just to say I got my degree when I could be doing what I want to do now? So it's just making decisions.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. Maybe when I'm older, that degree will help me get another job or something.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Dating, career.
Fuck dating.
All this sort of
No, it's not on my mind.
It's so much fun for me.
But like, I like the chase of like, I find a guy attractive, and if he finds me attractive too, I like that. Like, trying to figure out if we, we both are feeling this thing, but that's how far it goes. See, once I realize that, oh, you might like me, I'm like, okay.
Okay, and that's exactly on the other end of the spectrum when guys, a lot of time, as a rule, sleep with the woman very quickly. Okay.
I mean, they don't sleep with me.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in a general sense, like, okay, had that. That was nice.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Am I what? Is that, you guys do that?
Yes.
Am I?
Yes, you are that. Yes.
I don't sleep with people, though. It's not something I do.
To each his or her own. I'm not going to say it's good or it's bad. That's you, and I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you choose to do.
I am enjoying it.
That's fantastic. Is there anything else that you feel like you need to challenge me on before we leave so you can test?
Did you not like that?
So you can test my strength. You can test no. The pillars of character that I don't know. I guess.
Did that hurt your feelings? Did me saying I wanted to challenge you?
No, because I like that too. Just like in dating. I like whatever it is people have for me. I like it. Mm-hmm. Like whatever it is you feel like someone could have come in here and like tried to be nasty to me. It would have come with some sort of intention. It would have been very interesting to maneuver around that. Because I'm not a nasty person, so I'm not going to be nasty back. So it's just going to be you being nasty alone. And then for 2 hours, people are going to be like, wow, this is a really mean person. Earl's just having a conversation. Why is she acting like this? Yeah. So again, we can't hide. Yeah. So it would have just been me being a nice person and then someone else being a dickhead. So I, for me, as I started off talking about the little episode I had, and when I say episode, I just mean moment that I had with the Croatians and, it was, I'm good to just hang out and just relax and talk about perspectives. I don't need to tell you that you're wrong in anything. The fuck do I know? Like, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm not going to tell you you're living life incorrectly. I'm not going to try to get you again over on my side. I don't need you to be a follower or an acolyte of Earl's ways. Like, it's not that deep. I'm going to go on and continue to live my life. And whatever impact I had on you, if any at all, is the impact I had on you. And I hope that if one was had, it was a positive one. Because I don't want there to be any other type. And that's going to be that. We're just going to, talk civilly. Because I also like people. I love people. I enjoy people. I think they're infinitely interesting. And this is what I do this for. So, yeah. Definitely didn't hurt my feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I definitely enjoyed you.
I enjoy having a conversation with you. Like, this was good.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here. We're going to do this again. I'm just going to blow up your phone. I'll just text you. Shouldn't have gave me that number. I'm gonna just text you and be like, "Yo, what's up this week? What's up with you? What you want? You want to go grab a coffee? What's up? Yeah, I'm gonna just hit you up. Especially now that I know that you live so close in Ohio.
Oh my goodness!
All right. Last words for the people. What do you have for them? Since you're so insightful and deep, I'm fucking with you. But go ahead.
I would say there's more out there. Explore and don't give up. Just explore. That's it.
And I'm going to say...
You wish you sound like me.
I enjoy all of you. All of you are beautiful people.
Do I sound like that?
No one is ugly. Everyone is beautiful. And
no, stop.
And black men grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
And get your shit together.
Yeah.
And give a black woman a chance.
Period.
We good?
We good.
All right, this episode 135 of the Any Last Words Pod. Woo! Love you guys.
Bye.
Peace, everybody. Peace.